The learning component of the model includes crafting classroom activities according to the best principles of promoting learning. The principles of learning are active involvement, patterns and connections, informal learning, direct experience, reflection, compelling situation, frequent feedback, and enjoyable setting. More information on this can be found in the Technology as Facilitator of Quality Education model. The students in this 6th grade class are learning about statistics by relating the concepts of mean, median, and mode to basketball shooting percentages. The classroom teacher team teaches with a multi-categorical resource teacher. Working in groups, the students shoot 8 free throws and 8 field goals. They calculate their own percentages, then the mean, median, and mode of their group. The students compare their group results to those of professional basketball teams. The students display active involvement as they look up the statistics of professional teams. They are active and responsive as they engage in the activity.
51. Yeah.
Is it 51? Is it?
No, it's 52.
Is it 52?
Yeah.
How do you know? How come?
It's 5:45.
Adam, how come that's 52 and not 51?
Because it's 51. 51.5.
Yeah. So is it 51 or 52?
52 goes up after 5.
You're correct. All right.
80% for his
52. Write it down. Field goal 52.
and free throws 80.
Wow. Is that the best so far? That 80?
86.
No.
Oh, 86. Okay. Who's next?
Chucky.
The students begin to see patterns and connections as they study the statistics of the professional basketball teams. One group of students displays creative thinking as they interpret the statistics on the National Basketball Association's website. They relate their prior knowledge to their current task.
Okay, so what is that? What's 1,000 mean?
Probably means that he hits every single one from
What percentage is that?
1,000. No, it'd be 100.
It's 100%. So that means he makes every single one.
I see a 442 and a .814, and you're calling
we're
that.
rounding it.
So you're rounding it, but you're doing something else.
What?
You're doing it the right way. I'm just interested to know if you understand what you're doing.
Yeah,
You're taking .442 and turning that into 44%. So you did two things. You rounded off the 2.
44.2%. Oh, 44 and a half. I don't know.
No, 44% is correct. You dropped the 2 because it's less than 5, and then what else did you do with the .44?
Turned the decimal into a percent.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yep, that is correct. I just wanted to make sure, and you need to make sure everybody on your team understands that.
The students receive frequent feedback throughout the lesson. They receive peer feedback from the members of their group as they work together.
And then Minnie's is 431. Wednesday, my favorite higher than 5. Is 1 higher than 5? She has to look at the 1. Do you see? Ew! Is the 1 higher than 5? When it's higher than 5, if the 1 was like an 8, if the 1 was like an 8, it'd go to 44, right? Because it's higher than 5. But if it's a 1, it's lower than 5, so you keep it at 42. And what did you do this? Hi. Wow, 7, 3, 8. Is it 8 higher than 5? So what do you do? Go up or stay down?
The teachers give corrective feedback to help the students correct specific mistakes they make.
You guys have your mean, your median, and your mode.
So, okay.
How did you get 10%? I'm confused about that. Nobody else got 10%.
Ask her. She was like, because every shot means 10%, she said.
Okay, so what you're saying is each one of these is worth 10%.
Yeah.
So what if you would have made all 8 of them? How many percents would you have? 100.
Oh, wait, it got to go 15%.
Because?
Because 10% is only
80.
80. So
15% is what?
15. Oh wait. 15 times 8 equals 120. So you gotta go smaller than that.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta go 14. No, I'm gonna try 14. 14 times 112. So 12. It's 12, that's what it is.
No, it's not.
Okay, but how do you know if you took the number of shots that each person made divided by 3, then where does the out of 8 figure in there?
Don't know.
What this 6% tells me is if altogether you made 12 shots, your whole group, what that tells me is 12 shots made out of 3 possibilities if you divide it by 3. Somewhere we have to go back and pick up the 8. This tells me out of 8. You made 75%,
Okay,
right?
so do I add these up and then
I would think that's probably a safer way to go, because that way you know how many shots each person took.
The students establish patterns and connections as they compile their group data and the data of their professional team. The students engage in sense-making as they use their mathematical skills in a new context.
Okay, so you're free throwing 10%, and what are they free throwing?
So you don't need, it's not like this person.
79, 89, 81, 73, 87, 76. Yeah, all them.
All them. Is there a way that you could put those in one number and say, this is about what they're doing? How do you do
Yeah, all
that?
together. If you plus all of them together, and then divide it by
Yep.
10. So
And what's that called, when you plus them all together and divide by
Average.
the number? You could average their free throws, and that would
39.
average or mean, right? Another good term for the same for the same concept. You could take an average, and then you know what their average is.
The teacher encourages the students to find patterns and connections between the concepts and skills they've learned and the real world. The students display critical thinking as they interpret some of the statistics they collected.
Somebody had 100%. Somebody's, one of your guys has had 100%.
Was Veridia or something like that, and it was 100% for
What's your
free
thoughts?
throws. What?
Wow.
The Pistons.
Yeah.
I know him.
So the better team should have a better free throw average or a free throw median, right? Yes?
Field goal.
Their field goal percentage needs to be better.
The field goals need to be better than free throws. The free throws still have to be high.
I guess they put him in the
What?
I guess they put him in the
Right, if he's got a lot of field goals. Barbara.
There's this person on 76ers, they had 0% for free throws.
Oh, yeah? Anybody else have anybody that had 0%? What might the reason be that they only have 0%?
They must sit on the sideline or something.
They must sit on the sideline. They're not a very good shooter.
The students have to write a letter to their professional basketball team describing their project and their results. Writing the letter presents the students with a compelling situation. The teacher has given the students a challenging problem and has tied the students' classroom learning to the outside world.
It's important for us to share the information that we collected with someone so we can do something with those percentages, with that mean, median, and mode, and with those averages. So what we need to do is to write a letter to the pros explaining what we did, what we found, and maybe asking them some questions.
The teacher gives the students opportunities for reflection. With help from the teacher, the students brainstorm a list of items to include in the letter, then create a rubric to assess their letters.
What's important to be in our letter? Emily.
The steps.
Does that sound familiar? What else? Nicole. Okay, that might be something that we're going to include in the rubric, more than one paragraph. What else, what other things do we need to include besides what we did step by step? Andre.
Why did you do what you did?
Now let's take these things and see if we can turn it into a rubric. And Mr. Smith, Mr. Smith is going to do it on the computer as we talk about it. So what is quality, if we look at the top step, which is what we did step by step, what does quality look like? So it needs to be in order. Step-by-step explanation of procedure in order. What else?
The students engage in metacognition when they think about, then describe the processes and skills they used to compare the professional team's shooting percentages to their own.
How does your letter start? We are doing a project in school with your team. Our class went outside and shot 8 free throws and field goals. The percent of our shots were good, around 30 to 40% of 8. Then we did our group average. Okay, you need to tell how we did, you need to give information. The percent of our shots were good, around 30 to 40% of 8. You need to tell, up there it says reasons, detailed reason for doing each step. So right here, you need to write a detailed reason for how you got the percentage of 8.